What's going on, party people? And today I'm going to teach you how to perform the conventional deadlift correctly, safely, and efficiently. We're also going to go through the Sumo, the Romanian Deadlift, or formerly known as the RDL, and the stiff-legged deadlift as well. More often than not, I do see a lot of these lifts done incorrectly, or they think they're doing a conventional, but they're actually doing a stiff-legged. They think they're doing an RDL, but they're doing a stiff leg. They think they're doing, and so on. So after this video, you're gonna have awesome knowledge surrounding the deadlift and how to perform it correctly, but you're also going to know the difference between the different deadlifts out there. So let's get stuck into it. So the first one we're going to go through is obviously the conventional. It's the daddy of the lifts. It's the baseline of obviously all the other deadlifts. But it's one of my favorite lifts as well because it doesn't just utilize one muscle group. I don't like the word functional, but it is a very functional sort of lift out there because more often than not we're picking things up from the ground. So know how to brace everything up is very important. So we want to step forward up to the bar, and we want the bar to be slightly away from our shin, roughly an inch or two. The reason being is we want the bar to sit in the middle of our foot, which is the center of mass, and we want our knees to be out the way. When we lift the bar up, we want the bar to travel through that line as closely as possible. We do not want to deviate at all. I see a lot of people pushing the bar away and around their knees. We don't want that to happen. The bar should travel up and down in a straight line. So our feet position want to be underneath our hips. Everyone's position will be different. Same goes a squat. Everyone's squat position will be different, and it's, everyone's sort of limb lengths are different, and our hip structure is different as well. So with my hip structure is very narrow, so my foot placement is very narrow. And we want to think of it as stacking our joints up as well. So our feet want to be directly underneath our hips. So with that, feet underneath our hips, our toes want to be slightly pointed outwards. The reason being is because our knees want to be pointed outwards as well. This is going to put our joints or our knees in the best position to work efficiently, to provide the most power. If our knees collapse in, it's not the prime position for our knee joints to go. It wants to push outwards. So push the knees outwards, and just to note, the pressure on our feet wants to be even. Think of the foot as a tripod foot, even pressure through the heel and the toes as well. I'll put a bit of a diagram up here. So even pressure, toes pointing outwards, knees out, our hands want to go straight down. Remember, stacking the joints. So hands straight out, pushing the knees out as well against our arms. You'll notice straight away that I brace up everything. It's just a natural thing. I do it straight away because I've done this many times. So what I'm actually doing is lengthening my spine. I'm not thinking about, shoulders down, shoulders back, tuck in, chin up, blah, blah. All I'm doing is lengthening my spine. And this puts me in a really good posture. So lengthen out the spine. Imagine a line going straight through our head, through our body, and out our bum. We want our head to go towards the ceiling and our bum pointing back. If you haven't noticed already, I am sweating right now. I am on the Gold Coast in Australia and it is bloody humid today. I'm sweating my balls, so I'm going to go really quick and get this done so I can put my fan back on. Woo! Warm. Okay, so we've done our feet position. Our hand position is straight down. If you're doing a snatch grip, obviously you go nice and wide, but best position, the most powerful position is just straight down. So hands straight down, feet nice and flat, knees out, lengthening. So immediately I push my bum this way and my head that way, okay? With our chin position, we just want to be like this. We don't want to be tucked in, and we don't want to be lifting up, okay? So chin, neutral. Don't think too much about it. So head up, bum down, push your knees out, and then we're going to tuck our armpits straight down into our back pocket. What that's going to do is activate our lats. Our lats attach from a shoulder all the way down to a hip, so it's really important to have them switched on. If they're switched on, it's going to be safe for our spine, and it's also going to help out with our core activation as well. So with that, feet in position, we're lowering down, armpits tucked in, head out, bum out, big breath in, hold, and then we're going to push the ground away. Think of it a leg press. So we're pressing the ground away, and then we pull up, okay? We're in a strong position up here. We don't want to be slouched, and we don't want to be extended, okay? Remember that line, so straight line. And then we're basically reversing the tape, pushing our hips back, and letting the bar just go straight down. Do not push the bar away from you to go around the knees. Do not do that, because that's going to load up the back. We want to have it straight down, hips hinge back, so bar goes straight down and just kisses our kneecaps. Do not just let go of the bar. My God, it's one of my pet hates. Even if you're doing a PB, you have massive weight on there and you just get it up. It doesn't take much just to lower it down. It really doesn't. Don't just let go, okay? And when you think about it, you've got a lot of weight there. You're pulling up, the weight's going down. If you just go boop, and let go, I don't think there's anything sort of at risk of doing it, but it just doesn't sound like a great idea. And also, it's just annoying for everyone else around you. You hear this big boom, and then you're like, take the belt off and throw it. You know, there's no need for that. Just lower the bar down, please. Finish the lift. Okay? You pick it up, put the fucking thing back down. Don't let go. Rant over. Sorry, Vinny. Vinny is my good friend, and he's a coach as well. And I always get into him because most of his students or his class members, they always drop it. I'm like, ugh. And they do some great lifts. Like, he's an amazing coach. And they do really good lifts. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then they let go. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I had to mention that. Sorry, bro. Okay, so with the deadlift, the cool thing about it is it's a perfect combination of a push and a pull. So with the first initial movement, it's a leg press. You're pressing the floor away, you're pushing the ground to lift the weight up. When you get to this position, you're basically doing the RDL then. So you're pulling up, okay? So it's a really good combination of both. You do not want to turn it into one or the other. If you turn it into a press, you're in a squat position then, okay? And you notice it was really scraping up my knees. I've got short legs, so it's not a massive problem. But if you've got long limbs, your knees are going to be in the way, so they want to be pushed back and pulled up, okay? So initially, leg press, push, and then you're pulling into a nice strong position. Make sure you get your chest out, everything nice and strong, and then you're just rewinding the tape. So you're pushing your hips back out the way, and the bar travels straight down in that line. Onto the sumo. Exactly the same thing, but our feet are much wider. Again, my legs are about 2 foot long, so my sumo stance might look like your conventional. So, same kind of concept. We want everything stacked up. In this position in the sumo, we are a lot more upright, okay? So our chest is a lot higher. We are in more of an upright position, more of a squat looking. So with this, the bar can actually be touching my shins because our knees are really pushing outwards instead of forward over the bar slightly. So do not go too far out because immediately you're off balance. So make sure still the toes are pointing a little bit further out, probably like a 45-degree. Your knees are still in line, they're pushing out. You're straight down. And again, I get into this position of strength in power. So I'm tucking my armpits straight down and I'm lifting my head straight to the ceiling to lengthen out my spine. As soon as I do that, the spine goes in a great position, because in a neutral position. So don't worry about all those different cues about, pulling the shoulders back, shoulders down. As soon as they lengthen the spine, you lengthen it, everything else kind of flows into it. So, bum down, chest up, push the ground away, we're pulling up to the top, big squeeze, and then again, push hips back, lower it down. It is warm. We're almost there. So, let's move on to the RDL, the Romanian Deadlift. With the Romanian Deadlift, we put ourselves in a position exactly the same as the conventional, and we even lift the weight up like the conventional. Don't just pick the bar up like this. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I might hurt my back. But don't just go like this and just pick the bar up. Please get into position of a conventional, exactly the same, then lift up. Okay? Now we can start the Romanian Deadlift. The Romanian Deadlift starts up top and knock down the bottom. So it starts up here, push the hips back, lower it down to about just past the knees, and then pull up, okay? Back down, hold. You'll notice that the plates do not touch the ground. You want to keep the bar up, the plates off, and then pulling up. It's a lot of hip power, okay? So if you have done a kettlebell swing, it's the same position. Kettlebell swing, RDL. Okay? It's a lot of hip action. So make sure you're hinging and not that, like, you're not squatting, you're not going straight down, you're pushing the hips back and over here, and then squeeze. Do not overextend, okay? You're not doing anything extra. So when you're up top, nice and straight, hold, and then back down, okay? This is a lot of glutes, a lot of hips, and a lot of hamstrings. You will not be able to lift as much as in a sumo, conventional, even a stiff-legged deadlift with the RDL, okay? Be a lot lighter because you're basically hanging on to the weight for a very long time. With the stiff-legged deadlift, same kind of thing, but we're starting from the ground. I don't like to call it a straight-legged deadlift because your legs aren't straight. It's more of a stiff leg because your legs are stiff, but they're slightly bent. So same position as your conventional. Our feet is underneath our hips. Power position. So our knees are going to travel outwards and our hips are going to be pushed back. We're going to grab the bar, pull, and down. Pull. So a stiff-legged is more of a pull than a push like the conventional. You can lift some really heavy weight with this movement, but what you've got to understand is that the hips play a massive role. So you don't want to be like this and picking up the bar, okay? You want to have your legs slightly bent, pushed out, and the hips pressed back. So again, stiff-legged, here, boom, straight up, lower it down, boom. So with this one, you'll feel it more in the hamstrings than the conventional. I hope this clears a lot of the different deadlift variations and you can really identify the different lifts, and I hope this helps with you performing the deadlift in a more correct, safer, and more efficient way. If you like how I explain things in a more simple sort of way and you would like to see more videos, please let me know by either clicking like and subscribing to my channel. I'm going to be dishing out a lot of content in the near future. Every single week a new video will be popping up, so please stay tuned. I think it's time to have a shower because I am sweating my balls off. Chris out.